What if the world's most powerful leader was actually Satan's greatest deception? He confirms a peace treaty, performs astonishing signs, and even stands in a rebuilt temple in Jerusalem. This is the Antichrist story, the ultimate counterfeit to Christ's true covenant. Have you ever noticed how power can come from two very different sources? One is given, one is taken. One leads to lasting peace, the other to temporary control. This is the core difference between the Antichrist and Christ. When Jesus was in the desert, Satan offered him all the kingdoms of the world. He showed Jesus their splendor and authority, but Jesus refused. He chose the path of service. He drew his strength from God alone. After turning down the offer, angels came and ministered to him. Now look at the Antichrist. He is given a similar offer, and he takes it. Satan grants him power, a throne, and authority over his dark kingdom. The Antichrist doesn't wait for something real. He accepts what's on loan. His influence isn't built on truth or love. It's borrowed. It looks real. It feels powerful, but it belongs to someone else. The book of Daniel gives us a prophetic picture. Jesus is called the Son of Man. He comes on the clouds to the Ancient of Days and receives a kingdom that will never be destroyed. His authority is divine, permanent, and life-giving. But the Antichrist rises out of chaos. He is part of a terrifying beast with 10 horns. His power isn't his own. Satan gives it to him. It's impressive, but it's temporary. It's breathtaking, but it's not built to last. This contrast helps us understand what real leadership looks like. One path is rooted in service and truth. The other is built on control and deception. The Antichrist's authority may seem convincing, but it's only a performance. And soon, we'll see how he uses that borrowed power to perform deceptive miracles, and if the Antichrist is a politician, a president, or a celebrity. Why do we so often choose flash over truth when we see power at work? Both Christ and the Antichrist perform signs to prove their authority, but they operate on two completely different wavelengths. The Antichrist calls fire from heaven. It's a public display, a deliberate spectacle meant to demand attention and belief. The world watches in awe. The whole earth marvels and worships him. This isn't a quiet act of compassion. It's a performance, a counterfeit sign meant to imitate the power of God. He doesn't stop there. He mimics the resurrection itself. Revelation describes the beast receiving a fatal wound that appears to be healed. It's not real resurrection power. It's a sophisticated illusion, orchestrated by Satan. People see something astonishing. They respond with wonder. They follow him because the show is convincing. Now look at Jesus. His miracles were different. He fed thousands with a few loaves and fish. He healed the sick. He raised the dead. But these acts were quiet. They didn't seek the spotlight. They required faith to recognize. Many saw his works and still rejected him. He came to his own, and his own people did not receive him. This speaks to something deep in human nature. We prefer the spectacular over the subtle. We gravitate toward what dazzles us, even if it's built on lies. The Antichrist signs are loud, proud, and global. Jesus' signs were often personal, gentle, and humbly offered. We see this same pattern in leadership today. People follow charismatic figures who make grand promises and put on a show. They overlook quieter, truthful leaders who serve without spectacle. It's easier to believe a comfortable lie than an uneasy truth. That's why the Antichrist's deception works so well. He gives people exactly what they want to see. He offers a resurrection without sacrifice, power without surrender, and miracles without faith. But no political icon in the world is known for performing miracles yet, so could it still be him? This attraction to spectacle sets the stage for his most audacious move. He doesn't just perform signs, he uses them to build a system of global control. And that control begins with a promise of peace. How can a promise of peace become the most dangerous deception? Both Christ and the Antichrist establish covenants, one built to last, one built to fool. This is where their paths split completely. The Antichrist will confirm a 7-year peace treaty. It will appear to bring stability and security to a troubled world. People will welcome it because they want peace at any cost. But this covenant is conditional. It demands compliance. It operates through control. If you follow the rules, you receive protection. If you resist, you face consequences. It's a system built on fear, not freedom. The Antichrist uses this agreement to consolidate his power, turning a promise of peace into a mechanism of domination. Now, look at Christ's covenant. It's called the New Covenant. Jesus established it through his own blood. It doesn't promise temporary political peace. It offers eternal forgiveness. It operates through grace, not punishment. You don't earn it, you receive it. This covenant isn't a contract with terms you can break. It's a promise based on God's faithfulness. It brings internal peace that doesn't depend on external circumstances. One leader builds a system where your safety depends on your obedience. The other offers a relationship where your worth is already secure. One uses an agreement to manage behavior. The other uses a promise to transform the heart. The Antichrist's covenant is like a lease. It looks good for a season, but the terms can change. It's designed to expire. Christ's covenant is like a deed. It's permanent. It can't be broken or taken back. This distinction helps us understand the foundation of each kingdom. Control-based leadership demands outward conformity. Grace-based leadership invites inward transformation. The Antichrist's treaty is the starting point for his global worship system because it creates a structure where allegiance is enforced. People will follow not just because they're amazed by his miracles, but because they're bound by his terms. His deceptive agreement sets the stage for his most audacious act. He moves from controlling nations to claiming divinity. So what happens when a leader declares himself to be God? People often look at influential figures and wonder if they might be the Antichrist. They see a powerful leader and start making connections. But Scripture gives us a clear picture beyond the speculation. The Antichrist will rise to global power, and for a time, his control will seem absolute. He will appear unstoppable, but his reign has a fixed end. It is temporary, not eternal. Some point to Trump's global influence, some to Putin's ruthless tactics, both figures who dominate headlines and stir controversy. Could these modern leaders be foreshadowing the Antichrist, or are they just part of the spectacle that makes us forget the real battle is spiritual? The Antichrist will not stop at politics. He will blaspheme God's name, defile sacred places, and attempt to assert ultimate control over the world. His reign will be the pinnacle of arrogance, a counterfeit to Christ's humility and divine authority. But this act of self-worship does not go unanswered. Jesus will return, not with borrowed authority or political influence, but with his own eternal power. The confrontation will be swift and final. Every lie will be exposed. Every false claim will be silenced. The reign of the Antichrist will end. Before that moment, the Antichrist will unleash persecution against those who refuse to worship him. He will deceive many and make war against the saints. Followers of Christ may face suffering, but even in that, their victory is sure. It is not built on temporary power. It is built on something eternal. So what does this mean for us now? Instead of focusing on which world leader might be the Antichrist, we should focus on being spiritually prepared. Can we tell the difference between truth and deception? Can we recognize borrowed power from real authority? Are we building our lives on Christ's victory, not on temporary spectacle? The real question isn't who the Antichrist is. It's whether we are rooted in the one who is stronger than any deception. Our hope isn't in identifying a figure. It's in knowing the one who defeated him before he even arrived. Stay anchored in Scripture. Stay close to Christ. That's how we stand firm. The Antichrist shows our deep human pull toward what dazzles over what's true. He appeals to spectacle, not substance. True protection isn't found by trying to identify political figures. It's in knowing Christ deeply. Turn to his word. Spend time in prayer. Find strength in a community of faith. Perfect love drives out fear. When your relationship with Jesus is real, the counterfeit loses its appeal. Invest in truth, not speculation. Anchor your hope in the covenant that lasts, not the temporary treaty that fails. Let your discernment grow from knowing him.